Let's walk through the process of gathering customer data using the MRI Insights database available in our library. The first place to start is watching the following video, which has been presented by our library as an approach to using the Simmons-1 view data in a way that will allow you to quickly get the demographic profiles and the size of the market. Once you've watched this video, then come back to these slides to walk through the exact process that we used here in our library. So getting started. So the first thing to do is to go to the UNLV library, go to the databases, and in the databases find the MRI Simmons data. And it will look like this on the front screen, and it will have a little set of pictures like this, and it will have a little thing on the left-hand side that says proceed. So go ahead and click on that. Now, once you click on that, you will get to a part of the database that looks like this, and the reality of it is this database section is really designed for you to start in crosstab. But we're going to want to go to quick reports, and so you need to go to the Essentials tab, go down and make sure that we click on the quick reports. Once we've clicked on the quick reports, you should get a screen that looks like this, and it will have at the very top, it will have the particular data that we are using. In this case, it's the fall 2019 NHCS adult study that has been updated on 3/27/20. So it's a year or so old, but I guess in this case 2 years old, but we have this data readily available. You'll notice that two of the things that this will show is a demographic profile and a segmentation profile for any data that you upload from here. So the next thing to do is to identify the customer group that we would like to profile. You'll notice that there is an area where you can type in a search. And in my case, I typed in bottled water, and a number of bottled water related searches come up, including a plethora of different brands and different water usages and anything else that has the term water in it. You're going to want to go down and scroll through this and see if you can't identify the data that you need. In our case, we wanted to find beverage non-alcohol drinks, non-carbonated bottled water drinkers that in fact consume bottled water. And of course, then you will type in that and click on that particular information. Now, you need to make sure that you're doing this in the quick reports. And so make sure you click on the quick reports. And once you click on the quick reports, you will get the data that is beverage usage, yes. And then on the right-hand side, you'll get information that has a little target and a little arrow next to that target. It's important that you have this data in the quick reports. So that little target on the right-hand side and that little arrow there, and the information where it says demographic profile down below, will indicate that you are in fact looking at people who consume non-carbonated bottled water, and you are in the quick reports. So once you have this data and you're in the quick reports, you click on the target. And once you click on the target, this little arrow will become live, and you need to click on this little arrow. And when you do those two things, you will actually get the quick report. And this is what the basic quick report looks like. And you'll notice that it has basic information in it. And it's all nice information. But what we're really interested in is, first off, making sure that we have the right target, and that is non-carbonated bottled water drinkers, yes, and that we can export this information in an Excel file that we can then later use to actually build our tables. So what I need to do is I have this data here now, and I need to be able to export it. So I go on the export button and I click it, and a little thing will come up that says export XLS, and then of course we're going to click on that rascal, and when we do, we will get the Excel report. The Excel spreadsheet, when you download it and open it, will look like this. And you'll notice that the very first thing it will open on is something called a quick report summary, which basically has the same information that you just had on your screen, except in an Excel file. Now you'll notice once again we cross-check this to make sure we have non-carbonated bottled water drinkers, yes, and we have the quick report summary. But then notice also on the bottom we have a number of other things, which are all of the demographic details for this group of people. That includes basic statistics, educational details, ethnicity details, race details, income details, and gender details. So at least we have the basic demographics of non-carbonated bottled water drinkers, and we have some quick report summary statistics. My recommendation then, of course, is to save this Excel spreadsheet. Make sure you get it titled so you know exactly what it is that you have. You'll notice that when we click on the details, you are going to get all of the information that we're going to need, and including here, this is some summary detail here, but that we will in fact get all of the traditional MRI data, including vertical percentages, horizontal percentages, and the indices. We're going to need all that information once again for our analysis of the customers. Once we get that data, we probably would like to go back now and get the data for heavy users, because people who are buying bulk water in 5-gallon containers would undoubtedly be more heavy users of bottled water. And in fact, what we would identify is people who drink 14 or more, which is the highest level of bottled water per week. So this would be 2 bottles or more of water a day on the average. This is in fact the heavy users of bottled water. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that these people are all buying 5-gallon bulk water bottles at self-serve stations, right? They could be people who are buying bulk cases of water, PET bottles in 24 lots or more. They could be people who are having home water delivered, or they could be, in fact, people who are using self-serve bulk water refill stations. And you'll notice, though, that this looks just like the other data, in that, except that instead of having people who just drink water, we are having people who drink 14 or more glasses of water per 7 days. And it looks exactly like the other data, except it has a different customer group. You'll notice once again there's the target on the right-hand side, demographic profiles, segmentation profiles, and maps on the bottom. Now, of course, what we need to do then to get to the data that we want is we need to make sure that we have the right market. And then we need to click on the target, and then when we click on the little target here on the right hand side, the arrow will light up, and then we want to click on the arrow to be able to get to that particular quick report. Now, one of the things that we can do with the quick report is we could have gotten the demographic data. In this case, I thought it might be sort of interesting to also then look at the segmentation. So I can load the demographic profile and export it, but then I can also turn around and I can download the segmentation information and download it. Now these aren't really segments, but they do give us some information about the lifestyles of the people who in fact drink 14 or more glasses of water per week, of bottled water per week. When you click on that and download it, the quick report will give us information about the people who the food lifestyle segmentation and their uses of bottled water. And you'll notice that in this case there are 5 segments. And then I can turn around and I can of course export that. When I export it, it looks like this. It's exactly the same data except that it is in fact in an Excel spreadsheet. And you can take that data then and do other things with it, and also have it in an Excel file so that you can use it later on if you think you're going to need to. But we also would like to get this same type of data, but instead of national data, we would like this data for Las Vegas. Well, it turns out that the MRI Simmons database allows us to do that. So instead of using the fall 2019 NHCS adult study that has been updated on 3/27/20, we want local data. And so when you drop down that menu, when you click on the different types of studies that are available, you'll notice that one of the tabs is local. So go ahead and click on that local data. And you'll notice that when we do that, you're going to get all kinds of local data. And you'll notice in this case here, it's Abilene, Albany, Schenectady, Albuquerque, Alexandria, Virginia, Alpena. And what we're, of course, looking for is the Las Vegas data. The good news, of course, is this is alphabetical, so you go down and find the Las Vegas data. And here you can see I have identified that Las Vegas data for us. Now, I have the Las Vegas data. I have beverage usage. In this case, I don't have heavy users. I'm using the regular drink bottled water group. And so I am in the quick reports. And then the reason I know I'm in the quick reports is the little target on the right is lit up. If that doesn't light up, go back to Essentials, go down and click on Quick Reports, and then then get this data again, get the local data, and then get the right customer group. In our case, it's local Las Vegas data. It's people who consume bottled water. Then, of course, I click on the target, and then I click on the arrow once the target lights up, and I will get, of course, the data for non-carbonated bottled water drinkers using the Las Vegas local market. And then, of course, in this case, I've already downloaded it into an Excel file, and you'll notice that I have a quick report summary, I have statistics, and then I have the data for bottled water drinkers in Las Vegas, education levels, ethnicity, race, income, and gender, which is really information that we're going to need to be able to identify who our target markets are. Now, once again, this is people who drink bottled water. This is not necessarily heavy users or people who are in fact using bulk refill self-serve stations. But I have this data. So in summary, once you have the right data, you can analyze it. But it's going to take some time to get to the right data, and it's going to take some time to analyze it. So my recommendation is that you go into MRI Insights now and download the data that you are going to need. This is going to take a little bit of time. This is a skill that you need to develop. So instead of trying to find someone else who has already downloaded this, do it yourself. And of course, as always, good luck.